learning session. Learning and objective. Find out what is bargaining. Why does one bargain? When and where does one bargain? How does a person bargain? Is it good to bargain? Why? Why not? Students' learning activity is they learn what is bargaining and they also learn a life lesson. Teaching activity, students will be taught how to explain a poem with grammar, visual connector. Let's look into the poem. Stanza 1. A man or the I refers to the poet. Come and hire me, I cried while in the morning I was walking on the stone paved road. Sword in hand, the king came in his chariot. He held my hand and said, I will hire you with my power. But his power counted for naught, and he went in his chariot. The poet wanted someone to hire him, and he was wandering about on the stone paved road. There came a king, and he was asking him to come go with him so that he will hire him with power. But the poet thought, the power counted for nothing, and he rejected the king's offer. Stanza 2. In the heat of the midday, the houses stood with shut doors. I wandered along the crooked lane. An old man came out with his bag of gold. He pondered and said, I will hire you with my money. He weighed his coins one by one, but I turned away. Next came an old man with a bag of gold, and he promised to hire him with his money, and he started counting his coins one by one. But the poet turned away, rejected the offer, because he thought he could not be hired with power or money. Because power and money does not stay in life for too long. He wanted something that could stay in his life forever. So he is waiting for the moment or waiting for the person who could hire him for what he is searching for. You could make ERC from these two stanzas, making few questions like who said to whom and what does the line mean. Stanza 3. It was evening, the garden hedge was all aflower. The fair maid came out and said, I will hire you with a smile. Her smile paled and melted into tears, and she went back alone in the dark. Thirdly came a fair lady with a smile, and she promised to hire him with a smile. But when the poet rejected her offer, her smile paled and melted into tears. The disappointed lady went back. I refers to the poet. You could see the direct dialogues written in the direct speech form with the double quotes. You can pick out verbs, nouns as two visual connector. You can tell what is regular verb and irregular verb as also in box number 3 of your visual connector. Stanza 4. The sun glistened on the sand and the sea waves broke waywardly. A child sat playing with shells. He raised his head and seemed to know me and said, I hire you with nothing. From henceforward, that bargain stuck in child's play and made me a free man. Finally, the poet met a little child on the sand of a beach. It was a warm day and the waves were breaking out. And the child looked at him and told that he will hire him with nothing, as the child has nothing with him. The poet readily agreed to accept the offer because the child's offer made him feel that he is a free man. He is not under the bondage of anyone. So your visual connector, you're going to pick out verbs, nouns, regular and irregular verbs, and conjunctions. So your visual connector box is going to have 4 boxes where you're going to pick out nouns, verbs, V1 and V2, that is regular verb and irregular verb, and conjunctions. All the best, children, and try to make 3 ERCs. For each ERC, frame 2 questions and find out the answer. The poem is quite easy. The first one who came to hire was a king with his power. The second was an old man. He came with a bag of gold. And thirdly came a lady. She offered herself with a smile. And finally, the child who hired the man for nothing. And finally, the poet felt like a free man. That's the end of the poem. Read the poem once. Try to frame your visual connector and ERC, vocabulary, meaning, and sentences. All the best, children. Note down the classwork contents. Roman number 1, vocabularies, meanings, and sentences. Roman number 2, visual connector, grammar. Put it in 4 boxes. Roman number 3, explain the following with reference to the context. ERC. Make at least 3 ERC questions and try to answer those 3 ERC questions with 2 questions each. That's all for this. Take care. Bye-bye.